welcome to What's Good with Sergeant Show. I'm your host, Sergeant Show, and today we're drinking and reviewing beers. You know how we do it. We track down every single beer in the universe. We rate it on a scale of 1 to 12. This is episode 4 in our series of cleaning out the fridge with Sergeant Show. My fridge is too full of review beers. I need to start knocking these out. Maybe one a day if I have to, until we get these things knocked out so I can go back to the brewery, so I can fill up that fridge with some new beer. Like, you gotta support me, people. The more likes and the more shares, the faster it happens. I don't know how that works, but it just does. Okay, now, I love Japanese beers. They're some of my favorites. I really like Sapporo. I really like Kirin Ichiban. I love Asahi Dry. That's a great beer. And it's one of probably my top 5 favorites of all time. And so I'm very excited that today we have Samurai Japanese Lager from Great Divide Brewing Company in Denver, Colorado. And you say, well, Sergeant Show, what if that's a Sapporo style beer? What if that's a Kirin Ichiban style beer? Those aren't the same as Asahi, but then you look at the way this thing poured. I poured this thing like 10 minutes ago. You see that head is still like, that Japanese head, it just won't quit. And look how clear it is. I mean, that's Asahi over Kirin Ichiban or Sapporo all day. So I'm getting Asahi vibes off of this by looking at it and smelling it. So let's hope. That's one of my favorite beers of all time. So we drink every beer in the universe, rated on a scale of 1 to 12. 6 is average, 7 is good, 8 is very good, 9 is excellent, 10 is world class, 11 is the best of the best, and 12 is the perfect beer. It'll never happen. But you know what we do? We take 3 big gulps so that we get the true taste of the beer, not just the start, not just the finish, but the flowing of the beer over your taste buds. It's important, people. So it's a clean tasting beer for sure. It's got that. The thing is, it doesn't have the Asahi finish, because that Asahi finish is kind of dry, which takes away that bitterness at the end. This drinks at first like an Asahi, but it finishes kind of like a Sapporo or a Kirin Ichiban. It's not like Asahi, but it is at the same time. It's kind of tripping me out a little bit. Okay. So, and it's got a bit of just a little skunky aftertaste. So, you know how we do this. We're never too hasty, because the first 3 big gulps may take you by surprise. You need that second 3 big gulps just to make sure, just to reinforce with yourself that you thought what you thought in the first place. You know, here's the thing. When it first hits my taste buds, I'm like, as it's going down, as it finishes, it's got a skunky finish to it. It kind of reminds me of Heineken that's been left out in the sun too long, but this came from a can, so I don't think that's what happened. But it just kind of has that's, you know, like that skunky Heineken aftertaste kind of thing. So, but I do actually really like the taste of it and the start of it. I am still going to give it a decent score. It's a 7. It's a 7 for me. Samurai Japanese Lager. It's a 7. I know I think that's my second 7 in a row, but here's the thing. The way that this review thing works is there's bound to be repeats. Everyone can't be original in its score. It's just mathematically impossible. And so that's what's good with Sergeant's show. And you haven't been watching? Who gives a shit? There's more good beer for the rest of us. We're Oscar Mike.